And then while we're on the low end, I found a guy who had a couple boxes, a lot of '90s junk, we'll call it. But he had a couple other things. I only paid a quarter a piece for these. There's not always a chance that like you're gonna find the rare gem. Like when I would see the New Mutants full run or something, I'd dive in looking for the first Deadpool. Never find it. Someone else already got it. And if you go through only looking for something really expensive and really rare, you're not gonna have any fun. But I'm a fan of Nexus. Not many people heard of him. He's not from a big two company. He's from First Comics. But it's like I'm a fan of Steve Root and his art, and I like the story. I like the character. He's not like your classic hero. There's space travel, a lot of different elements to it, and it's basically I'm just a fan of the character in the book. I'll pay a quarter a comic book for that. Quarter's not bad. So that's why I picked those up. And then a really early Frank Frazetta book from DC. I hadn't seen many Frazetta stuff in DC. I have like a Red Sonja that went to Marvel, but I like the concept. And just because I'm a fan of Frazetta and it's really early, it's only a quarter. So why not? Why wouldn't I give it a shot? And it's like if there's shiny light on the cover, and it's really clean pages too.
Those are white pages.
It's probably not even actually that old. It's probably like wicked modern. It's 83. It's in very nice condition for being 83. But
it's 31 years old.
Yeah. But like I said, it's one of those things that I'm just going to put with my Conan stuff. I'll put it with my Red Sonja stuff. Just to like, it's another subsection of that genre. So it's like you can go through and try and find that really special like first appearance, or you can just get whatever piques your fancy, whatever you like, because it'll be cheap enough there. On the other side of that, I found a guy who had some more expensive, better issues than that. So this is like a classic Wolverine cover. I believe it's McFarlane. He's right there, and like this cover has been reproduced many times
everywhere.
Yeah. So, and it's a fun cover, Wolverine versus the Hulk. And like I said, it's one of those keys that like you kind of look for. And once I talked to him, the price wasn't bad, and I was looking through his other stuff. So I'm just showing you ads right now. That's not fun. But if you can get a book, if you can get like more than one of something, and the seller is willing to negotiate, you have a better chance of getting a better price. If you're buying just the one thing, then they might not budge too much. But you never know. There's some stores where you think you can negotiate, and it's like, no, the sticker price is the sticker price. Other times, like you could have negotiated and you didn't. So it depends. The first of Spectacular Spider-Man #1. It's also, I believe, the first Tarantula. This is a classic that's been around a long time. I've seen the cover many times before. I got this one for a good deal because I combined it with the other three. I've paid $50 alone just for this issue. Like, I'm not saying 50 is a lot or isn't enough, but I've seen the issue go for more than that, and it's definitely worth its value because it's one of the really like early pioneering Spider-Man issues. So with that, combining that in the lot, it was a good grab, I feel. And then I got one of the other classics for Wolverine #1. I believe this was this was the mini-series before he got an ongoing, a full series. And it's the Frank Miller classic. But one of the fun things about it is like if you're in your location, your area long enough, you learn what stores have been in your town, what stores have been in the next town over. If you hang around long enough and you make friends with people, and you hear about like other stores in the past, like who got whose lots. It's I think like Bob's Comics and More might have gone into business, so someone else got their bunch. When Buried Under Comics became Heroes Legacy, they unloaded a lot of stuff, and I know Omni Comics bought some of their extra issues. So with that note, I found a price tag for Matt's Comics there, who we frequent a lot. But at the same time, oh hey, this is sideways for you though. and that's in East Windsor. So Enfield, East Windsor, they're next to each other. So this somehow traveled through 2 different stores, but yet kept both pieces of information on them
Before winding up.
before ending up with me, who lives on the border of Enfield, East Windsor. But it's also a fun, like, historical thing. So ultimately, I think I paid maybe $40 for the 3 of these from that guy. And with that, he also had a bunch of Star Wars #1. Like the movie just came out, like the 79, 80 Star Wars from Marvel. And I was considering getting them. But like I was saying, with being local, knowing what's around you, I was looking them over and checking them out, just seeing which ones were different quality, because there are different prices on them. I thought about getting all of them just so I could resell them for a higher price. You know, just thinking maybe here and there. I ended up not getting them. Because one of the things that was happening, so I'm going to show you, so there's a red mark right there on the top of the book. The printers would put that there. That's not uncommon. A lot of the 90s books had that. Here's a stack of like Conan and What If issues that I got somewhere. And if you see there's a rainbow going through. That's from the printer. What was on these books from these Star Wars was 2 lines, and they didn't go all the way through. They kind of just faded out at one point. And I doubted how they got there, because they didn't seem like they were printed in by the printer. There was a guy I heard who had a shop in Springfield, and old-timey shop. Before there were bags, before we bag and border comics, he would get them on the spinner rack, and then he would put them in back issue boxes. They still had the boxes then, but he would load up the box, and then either take like a paint roller or a spray can and just go along the top of every issue. And then when he would bring it up, he would look at the very top and be like, there's blue paint there, that's $2. There's red paint there, that's $4. And that's how he would price his books, instead of like having a bag and put price tags on them. So realizing this guy was like local, he had different collections from the area, and I was convinced that those were painted issues that old shop owner had. And I wasn't about to risk buying something that has been damaged and been painted on. I didn't have a chance to go back because I went somewhere else, and like everyone was packing up by the time I was done. But I thought about getting one of his cheaper ones just so I could have like that, again, that piece of local history. And like, and actually check and make sure, like, was that painted on? And just say, like, look what someone used to do. Because one of the things I like is you can get like the important issues, the key issues. I also like getting the embarrassing moments. Maybe something that an artist or a writer would regret, or it didn't come out too well, it wasn't as planned. And
early in their career.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get to those in another episode. But these were my finds for Mansfield in August.